Let's take a look at CVP analysis. CVP stands for cost, volume, and profit. So you're taking a look at the relationship between those three things. Our costs and the volume, how much activity you have, how many units you're selling, etc., and making. And profit, what kind of profit are you making on these units from your sales minus your costs. So again, cost, volume, and profit analysis is looking at those three things, how they're all related amongst themselves. What if one increases? How does that affect your profit? What if one decreases, etc.? All these things you're looking at. Contribution margin is a word that means sales minus variable costs. So management is particularly interested in contribution margin because management has control over variable costs. How much direct labor, how much direct materials we're paying for, and any other variable costs, things that change as we sell more items, are variable costs. And generally management has more control over that. So fixed costs, the cost of renting the building, okay, management doesn't have, only the most upper management has any control over that. So typically contribution margin is a real important number that management looks at. It's not something that is on financial statements that go to investors and creditors. It's not part of GAAP requirement, but it is a big number for management. The unit contribution margin is the same as the contribution margin, but instead of total sales minus total variable costs, it's sales for one unit minus the cost of that one, the variable cost, of that one unit. And that is useful information for management as well, so that's also used. So we can make a contribution margin income statement for management, as opposed to GAAP says we have to have on our income statement, we have to have sales minus cost of goods sold. And we know is gross profit, which is very important to investors and creditors. Cost of goods sold includes all the costs of making the product. Some of them are variable and some of them are fixed. Whereas for management, we want to separate out the variable and the fixed. We learned in the previous module of this class how to do that if you had some mixed costs, how to divide it out into just variable and just fixed. Okay, and so here we have, once you have that all separated out, now you can have your contribution margin income statement, which management uses a lot more than looking at a regular income statement that goes to investors and creditors. So here's our formula for a contribution margin income statement. We have the sales minus just the variable costs. Now those might be variable costs of the product, and they might be variable costs of the office building. Any period expenses which happen to be variable, such as maybe commissions we pay on to salespeople or something. Well, that normally would not be part of cost of goods sold because it's not a factory related, it's an office period expense. But for this contribution margin income statement, all variable costs, whether they happen in the factory or in the office, they're all, if they're variable, we're going to subtract them from sales to get the contribution margin. Then from there, we'll subtract all fixed costs, whether they're from the factory or the office, and we get down to operating income. Now, for the income statement that we do for GAAP, for investors and creditors, we have sales minus cost of goods sold as gross profit. Then we subtract out the period expenses, the expenses of the office, and we get operating income. We may call it income from operations, but it's oftentimes management will call it operating income. So on this contribution margin income statement, the sales is the same number as it's on the regular GAAP income statement. And operating income may be called income from operations on the GAAP income statement, but it's the same number. It's just in between these that we're, in the GAAP income statement, we're subtracting all the product costs. So all the costs of the factories, whether they're variable or fixed, and getting a gross profit. Then we're subtracting all of the office costs, the period expenses, and we get down to operating income. Here, we're dividing everything out into variable and fixed. So we have sales minus variable is contribution margin, and contribution margin minus fixed is operating income. Okay, so the contribution margin itself can be expressed in three ways. So the total contribution margin means we're taking our total sales for that period minus our total variable costs for that period. That gives us a contribution margin. We can also get the contribution margin ratio. So this takes the contribution margin and divides it by sales. Okay, so if I go back, let's see, somehow, yes. Okay, so contribution margin, once I get it by taking my total sales minus my total variable cost, if I take that contribution margin and divide it by sales, I get the contribution margin ratio. It'll be like a percentage. Okay, we had done that with gross profit as well. We took gross profit divided by sales, and we got the gross profit percentage. Okay. The third thing is the contribution margin per unit. And again, we take the sales price for 1 unit, that's what we sell it to the customer for, minus our variable cost for 1 unit, and that will give us the contribution margin for 1 unit. Another thing we can do is take this total contribution margin and divide it by how many units were represented from these totals, and that would also give us the contribution margin per unit. So let's look at an example. Okay, so let's say ABC Company sells 50,000 units at $20 each to the customer. Well, we would take 50,000 times $20. That would give us total sales. $20 is the sales price for 1 unit. Then we have with variable cost of $12 each, $12 per unit of variable cost, times 50,000 if we want to know the total variable cost. And we have total fixed costs of 300,000. So after we put in the heading, remember we always have a heading, we would show the contribution margin income statement. We would have sales, 50,000 units times 20 is 1,000,000, okay, minus our variable cost, that was 50,000 units times $12 a piece, that's 600,000. So 1,000,000 minus 600,000 is our contribution margin of 400,000. Then we had our fixed costs, which they told us was 300,000. We subtract that, we get income from operations, also known as operating income, of 100,000. Okay, now over here to the right, the contribution margin ratio is the contribution margin divided by sales. So our contribution margin is 400,000 We divide that by sales, which is 1 million, and we get 40%. That is our contribution margin ratio. So we can say 40%, or we can put it in decimal form, which is 0.4. The contribution margin per unit is the sales price of 1 unit, which is $20, minus the variable cost for 1 unit, which was $12. And so that is $8 per unit. The other thing I could have done is taken the total contribution margin, 400,000, divided by how many units, 50,000 units. That would also give me $8 per unit. Okay, and so here this just went over that same stuff that I went over. This also goes over the same stuff, and so you have the total contribution margin in a statement. This middle yellow bar shows you all the percentages. So you would take each number, so 1 million divided by 1 million is 100%, 600,000 divided by 1 million is 60%, 400,000 divided by 1 million is our contribution margin ratio, 40%, 300,000 divided by 1 million is 30%, 100,000 divided by 1 million is 10%. So that can be all put in percentages. Okay, and the final light blue bar shows you the contribution margin per unit, $20 of sales price for 1 unit minus variable cost for 1 unit of 12 is the contribution margin. Okay, so how are we going to use this contribution margin per unit? Okay, so let's say we can use it to determine how much operating income would increase if we sold 15,000 more units. So we were selling 50,000 units. What if management wants to know how much operating income would be if we sold 15,000 more units? So that would be 65, 50,000 plus 15 more thousand units means, what if we sold 65,000 units? How much operating income would we have? Well, all we got to really do is take that 15,000 extra units times our contribution margin per unit of $8 per unit, and that tells us we would have 120,000 additional dollars of operating income. Now we could do it all out. We could figure out, okay, 65,000 of sales times $20 a piece, and our variable cost was $12 a piece times 65,000, and figure that out and then subtract it. We'd still get 120,000, but that's a bunch of steps. If we just take our contribution margin per unit, we could, manager can do this very easily with his little handheld calculator, his phone, whatever, and figure out the same answer. So knowing the contribution margin per unit is very useful to a manager.